Hey guys, it's Ken. Greetings from beautiful Great Stirrup Cay here in the Bahamas. Would you believe today this is my workspace? This is my creative space to start a fun art project that'll start here and will finish when we get back home. I'm a firm believer that wherever you go, take nothing but pictures and leave nothing but footprints. But today's experiment, today's plan, will let me take home something very special from Great Stirrup Cay. I have no plans of taking these rocks back with me, but I have some of these guys. This is a two-part epoxy clay. Let me show you how it works. The idea is you take equal parts purple to equal parts white, mix them together, and once it's an even, consistent purple, it takes a very little time for it to cure and harden, so you gotta find a fun textured place on your rock, or we're going to do some trees also, that you want to make a mold of. I think I'm going to go over here. I like this corner right here, so watch this. Okay, while that piece is curing on my rock, I mixed up another piece, and I found an awesome texture right over here on this tree. Check that out right there. Alright, give this a few minutes to cure in this heat. It won't take long at all. This tree has been a great shade tree today. Let's take a sample of this texture right here from our tree. Alright, short 10 minutes later, let's check it out. This is such a fun idea. Look at that. Again, when we go back to the States, we'll make something awesome and fun from these molds. This is the piece from the tree. We're going to add some other material over it. You'll see when we get back home. Here's the rock I did. Check this guy out. It peels back, and there's all that fun texture. I'm going to mix up a few more batches and get a few more things around here before heading back to the ship. But I'll meet you guys back home. And just like that, we're back home again, but can't do anything until we get some much needed supplies. Before we get started, I must say, this project is not mine. It's a project that I borrowed from another creator here on YouTube. I follow some amazingly talented people here on YouTube. One of them is a guy by the name of The Craftsman. He has a show called The Craftsman Show, Steady Crafting. You've got to check him out. He's got a great channel full of so many wonderful ideas, and his video that I'll put in the description box below, a link to it will be there, is where I got this idea from. So check out that video, subscribe to his channel, and if you ever watched this Craftsman, thanks for the inspiration. Now, let's go make something cool. And that is going to bring us right here to... We're only here for a couple things, and the first thing we're looking for is right here. Let's get a couple. And a few of these closed back ones. Matte black, acrylic. Alright, I got what I came for. And a few other items too, as always. Yeah, I picked up some Legos too. Just because. We'll save those for later. Here's what we got. I also picked up a 12-pack of powdered pigments for this project and some multi-surface metallic acrylic, frosted bubbly, and the stars of the show, this magic sculpt I already had. So let's sit down and get started. Okay, first thing, take these guys out of their packaging. If you recall from earlier in the video, I was using this Easy Mold silicone putty mixture, a 1-to-1 ratio, and made these guys back in the Bahamas on Great Stirrup Cay. But now they're back home with us, and we're going to use another 1-to-1 ratio mixture. This stuff is called Magic Sculpt, and you can buy it here, or I just bought my first batch off of Amazon. But it is a 1-to-1 ratio, just like the other. You have the white part and the hardener. Mix them together until you get an even consistent gray, and it hardens like a rock. We have some important choices to make. What colors can we use to color our magic sculpt? I'm going to go with this blue. Make sure they're about the same size. Perfect. Side note, yes, I should be wearing gloves because my fingers are about to get very, very blue. So as I mix these together, I'm going to dip the corner into my blue here, pull up some of that powdered pigment. What I'm going for here is I want something to resemble the ocean. So we're going for blues and golds. So we're mixing in the color while we're blending the white resin and the hardener together. Okay, we are back. I have my glittery blue magic sculpt ready to go. I'm going to put this one inside this mold. You'll see how I do that in a second. I'm also mixing up another batch for these guys. I've got this sitting on parchment paper so it doesn't stick to my paper towel. I'm just going to push that into there. Now for this one, I do believe I'm going to use the tree one I made. And I'm going to pick right in the center. Let that sit for a moment. Now for this one, I'll make another blue. I was shocked at how hard this stuff is when it's completely dried and hardened. It is like a rock. I'm not worried so much about the edges right now because I know they'll get messed up again once I push this piece into this clay. So let's go up here. I like that. What's nice about these molds is that they clean up really nicely. And you can use them over and over again. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to pause here and take this clay tool and start cleaning up the edges. So now I'm going to go in here and push the clay in to expose my nice frame, make it look much nicer. One of the nice things about the Magic Sculpt is that while it's still soft, you can use a brush and a little bit of water to clean up any areas where there might be some clay. Once it dries, of course, there's no way you could do this. While it's still soft, you can use it to clean up your edges and make them look real nice. Okay, we are almost done. We only have 3 more steps to go. Very short steps. Everything gets laid out on this paper towel. And in my cap right here is a tiny bit of water. And I'm going to put a couple drops of this black acrylic paint for a black wash. And this is simple. We're going to take our black acrylic paint that's been diluted with a little bit of water and brush that into all the little grooves. You want it to be almost like an ink. Well, not almost, you want it to be like an ink. Let's see how this looks. One of those emerald green ones I made. I just want to get some contrast into those recessed areas. Okay, I'll do these other 2 and we'll do the next step. Like I said, we're almost done. Also clean up the edges. I took a piece of that epoxy sculpt and I just wrapped it or forced it into this little part of the mold like this. Pulled it off. That's what I got. Then before it hardened, I took my clay tool and poked a hole in it. Then when it hardened. I did, well, the black wash. And now we're going to add some highlights to it. If you recall, earlier I talked about this frosted, bubbly, this metallic acrylic paint. We're going to pour a tiny bit right here. That's probably way too much already. And then using a very, very dry brush, no water at all, I'm going to pick up the tiniest bit of this paint. And all I want is paint on the very ends of the bristles. I'm going to drag the paintbrush across the pendant, highlighting the highest parts. Here we go. Again, gloves would be nice. Of course, if I have too much, I can always take some off. I like that better. Sorry about my big hands in your face. Okay, final step. Everybody goes out in the yard, takes a nap in the sun, and once completely dried, gets a nice clear coat. Glossy. And just like that, everyone is back inside from their nap in the sun, sealed and looking really good. I'm very pleased with how these came out. So happy that I took that silicone putty, the Great Stirrup K, and took these little samples from nature. This came out really, really well. So if you try this project on your own, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Also, if you like my video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. That tells me you watched it, that you liked it. I don't always do videos like this, but I do enjoy creating and making things. So there might be future videos like this from me. I do have some ideas percolating in my imagination for some fun Halloween projects using those same materials. So I want to thank you again for watching and tuning in. If you check out the Craftsman, if you see him, tell him I said hey. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to leave you guys right here and go back to Great Stirrup K and take another nap. Hey, look. Hidden Mickey. See you guys later. Bye.